Ladies and gentlemen, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, resellers across all platforms, podcast probably presents episode 21 of the greatest podcast in the world. It's Joe Philly Picker, Dan the Man, and I'm Jimmy. Old School Flips. Don't forget that Dan and the Man is a ambassador on Poshmark.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm not associated with Pocket Change.
He's also not associated with us. It's actually just Joe and I talking to our mascot every week.
Oh,
what's going on, guys?
Your mascot.
Our mascot. I'm sorry. You called? Did you say
sidekick?
Sidekick. Sorry.
Yeah, but I came up with a new thing.
Oh, it's a new thing.
I told Joe. Remember, I told you, Joe. Jimmy, this might resonate with you a little bit.
You were talking in code.
Joe, you didn't tell me. Joe, you're supposed to forward everything that Dan says to me.
He was talking in code. I really didn't understand it. And
talking in code.
Well, because I mean, also we start every podcast like this too. I'm sure the people that listen to this, they probably don't want to hear that. But I'm not a sidekick any longer. I am the leftover.
You're the leftovers.
Oh.
Leftover.
So I can't be a rental host, but you can be the leftover.
Well, I'm not Pocket Change. You guys are Pocket Change.
I don't understand. Here we go again with this with the
Pocket Change podcast with leftover.
With leftover Dan.
Leftover Dan.
With even Dan. Have my own.
So we're just fully.
I have my own thumbnail and everything.
Joe, we have to have a business meeting real quick. So
we do.
Sorry, that was a joke. Sorry. No, I want to show you guys. There's a new feature on StreamYard.
All right,
in this case, it's for the ladies, gentlemen. So if you go into your settings,
aren't you guys both married?
If you go into your settings and you go to camera, touch up my appearance.
It's not going to do anything for me.
And it gives you this beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's there. Touch up appearance.
Look at, and turn it all the way up. I had to for sure. Oh, look at Dan, looking dapper. You're dapper, Dan.
My glasses look foggy because
they do.
I forgot to switch my glasses. These are
they your sleeping glasses?
These aren't my sleeping glasses. These are.
Did you turn it on, Joe?
These are my everyday walking around.
I don't even think it gives me that option. They're like, there's no helping you.
Settings in camera, and then you got to push the box that says "Touch up my appearance."
Oh wow!
I don't really think it did anything.
And then turn that. Yeah, it did. I saw it, Dan.
It makes my beard look blurry.
Oh, it does. Look at that.
Wait,
what happened to your beard? Oh, you're looking like you just used the new razor. What's a good razor that you're?
I was gonna cut my hair today. It's not a good day to do it. My hair is long.
I think it looks pretty good. Look, I'm actually pretty not very clean shaven right now, and it kind of cleaned it up. So
okay.
I mean, it's not a miracle worker, guys. It's not going to perform miracles over here.
I know.
But, it touched it up a little bit.
Okay, look at that. I got bedhead. I was attempting to list today. I couldn't list.
Why?
Why not?
I'm gonna try it.
Is it broke again?
I couldn't list all day on Thursday last week. I could not list at all. Like on my phone, it wouldn't let all day for half the day. It wouldn't let me upload pictures. I kept on putting up pictures, and then it kept on saying uploading them, and then I would put in my description and everything, and then I couldn't set the price, and then when I would just put it in as a draft, when I would go back, nothing was there. I have to the draft was there, but I have to change everything again. And
so did you confirm if it was an eBay problem? Did you find out?
I don't know where to find out from.
Me either.
I think, did I text you, Joe? I think I texted you, Joe.
Yeah, you texted me, and I wasn't sure. I didn't list anything that day, of course. But then I listed on Friday, and then I was having trouble putting in the custom SKU. It would go to the custom SKU screen.
And then you couldn't hit on it?
Yeah, I could, and then it would kick me out.
That's been happening to me for weeks. So then I kept on getting kicked out and having to go back.
Yeah,
that's been happening to
me for out twice today while I was listing. I didn't know there was issues going on.
I was so mad. And then I searched on. I don't know if this is a thing, but I searched on Twitter to see if anyone say anything about it. No, obviously
X.
Whatever.
X, yeah, X.
And then I searched Instagram, and I couldn't. I kept on looking up. I don't even know what to look. I don't even know.
That down detector or whatever it is, that thing's there's a website called Down Detector.
Oh, I never even heard of that.
That was my nickname back in high school, actually.
And then I was gonna ask on Instagram. I was gonna ask if anyone's having trouble. Then I was like, no one's probably gonna respond to me, so I haven't even bother asking.
Yeah, you're right. I wouldn't respond. You're right.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't see it until 18 hours
Why do
later.
you, Dan, why do you of course people are going to respond to you. You got a following on there.
Oh, I get nervous. And then, so the same thing's happened to me today. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't
it's the
listen to
same thing
anything
because I've been
today.
talking about for months about Vendu.
Now
Vendu has not been working for me for like over a month.
Uh-oh.
And
Links
the
down
only
below.
person,
Links down below, folks.
I don't even think it's down there.
Oh, take it out.
Did you take it out? You were mad?
I think I took it out a long time ago.
Oh.
Now, did you? Because I have to occasionally uninstall and restall eBay because of just glitches.
Yeah, so I restarted my phone. I deleted the app. So I listed on my phone too, because that's another thing is like, well, maybe I wasn't having trouble on. Because sometimes I'll have trouble. I have to save a draft, and then I'll have to go to like my laptop and then upload the draft from my laptop or my iPad. But I didn't get that far. I guess I wasn't that worried about listing.
I'm sorry, I should have asked that. So, were you listening on a computer or your phone when you were having
my phone? I always, because I lay in bed and list. That's what. I was attempting to today, and that's why I got the bedhead. That's why I'm like, I need. It's time for a haircut today, but
or you could just hit the touch-up feature on.
Well, it didn't. I mean, it didn't mess. Look, my hair's all messed up still. It's like crooked.
Do you every time I get that problem or glitch or whatever you want to call it, I say to myself, I'm going to figure out how to list. Not how to list. I'm going to get more comfortable listing on the computer.
No, because I never do it. Here. I never do it. Sitting here because I can't sit here that long. Like I don't even want sitting here to do this. By the time we're done doing this, my legs or knees are hurting me. I want to get up and move around a little bit. Like, so I won't sit here and list. That's the one thing so we're back to like Vendu. Vendu won't work. And then the last time I mentioned it on here, someone mentioned List Perfectly. I tried List Perfectly, but you have to only do it on you have to do it on the laptop. And I just was never, I used the first month and I tried it for like a day. And then I don't sit here and do that. Like I'll get bored. Like my listing thing is weird. I like lay in my bed and list.
As a Poshmark ambassador, these are things you need to know about cross listing like that. That's why I'm gonna pick your brain if you don't mind. You just said List Perfectly doesn't have like an app or on your phone.
Yeah, you can't.
That's important to know for people that are thinking about cross listing.
Well, that was the one thing that I wanted to do Vendu is that I can just do it I can do an app on my phone.
Vendu does.
And if I'm at the store and I'm waiting in line, I could cross list. If I was at the pizza parlor, getting a pizza, I could cross list. If I was looking for some new sneakers, I could cross list while I'm waiting for them to see if
pizza parlor.
Pizza parlor.
Do people still call it that?
I'm sure.
Pizza parlor.
We have a pizza. Yeah, I guess. I mean, we have 2 pizza restaurants in town. I guess I should be calling them pizza parlors.
I don't know why it just came out of my mind because I was like doing this. It was like a commercial. If you're at the mall, you can cross list.
No, it was good.
I was trying to support Vendu, but now they're like my mortal enemies.
I must say, Dan talks about Vendu all the time. He's been trying to get me on board, but
I
tried it. I actually tried Vendu years ago. A couple of years ago, I tried it, and it worked okay. I just didn't have the platform. I was only cross-listing to Mercari, and when I stopped selling stuff basically on there.
Well, I keep messaging him. I'm like, it's not working. And finally, I was the only person, Big Thrift Philly, Dan. I don't know. Joe, you know him probably. He's from Philly.
Jimmy knows him.
You know Dan. You know Dan?
Big Philly?
Yeah. He got him Vendu, and he got on because I talked about it all the time. And now I feel like a dope because he's like, it's not working. But he contacted them and they gave him a month free, and then so I contacted. I got a free month too because I was going to cancel. Because like, what am I paying for?
So here's a question. I got more questions, and I got all kinds of Vendu questions for you, then Dan, because now they don't listen to our podcast. Those guys are Trash to Cash, but Kevin, I've talked to him.
They can't get past 10 minutes of it. If you want to start that rant right now? I'll start right now.
This is the real trash. 10 minutes. We're not even worth 10 minutes of listening.
You better get it in because we're at 9:20. You better get whatever you want.
We got to get this in right. We got to get this in.
That hurt my feelings. I'll tell you.
That hurt my feelings too. I was on it. I was texting like crazy. I didn't text any of them. I was just texting. So
no, I was like, mother. I thought you texted them for real.
Huh?
Yeah, I thought you texted them for real.
I did. Maybe I did.
You're lucky I showed up today. I was like, oh well, they don't want to listen to us. So
you got 15 minutes to get it in. They're leaving in 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Let them have it.
I told you, Joe, I wasn't even going to talk for 10 minutes.
You did
We're
say that.
unlistenable. Is that a word? Listenable?
I think so.
We
I don't
can't-
know where
nobody-
that going. So, I almost said.
I wanted to ask that Vendu question because I've talked to Kevin. And like one of Kevin's biggest rules with
Kevin's
like,
a list
people,
perfectly guy.
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. That's kind of my point. He, for the most part, if he's gonna like promote it, like you share a link and stuff, he requires to have a good contact with that company. Like he won't promote somebody unless he has, if not the owner, a really good contact. And that's what. So like, you should be like, hey, I'm not going to promote you guys if I don't have a good contact.
I don't have. They're going to be like,
promote
okay,
them though.
who cares?
You've put your name. When I think of Vendu, I think of Dan, the In Demand.
Dude,
You're the one I think. Yeah, because you've promoted it multiple times.
Well, it's been nothing but bad news for a while here.
So you need to get
on the horn, Dad. Get on the horn. Get a contact for Mr. Vendu.
Talk to Angie. That's another person I think of when I think of Vendu. Doesn't Angie Resell uses them a lot too? Maybe ask her. Maybe she could help you. Angie, she don't. I'll message her.
Okay.
All right. So
what are you gonna say? You
10 minutes. Now we can really get into the trash.
You don't think? Oh no, we can't say we're not the trash.
I'm just joking. What were you asking, sir?
No, I was gonna say. I thought you were gonna say. You think Angie Resells listens to the podcast?
I don't know.
Probably not. I'm gonna guess.
Find out. If you listen, Angie, comment down below. If you don't,
she might be listening on her favorite audio podcast platform.
She might be listening on. Well, if you're listening on audio, send me or Dan a message on Instagram about Vendu.
Or they could send Joe, because
or Joe. Joe doesn't even exist. Joe's not even part of the show.
I know. I'd rather be. Yeah, Joe is 50% of pocket change, and he's not even.
I'm never mentioned. I'm never mentioned
ever.
That's okay.
I think they once called you Paul, which is fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't happen in a while, has it, Paul?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time. Still to this day. Yep.
Oh, I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah, but that's okay too.
Whatever.
Like I told you before, I was known as Georgie for over 2 years.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
I actually think you should. I mean, you should consider a name change. Georgie's pretty awesome.
Oh, I've considered plenty of name changes.
No, I mean like legally changing your name down.
Oh no, I was talking about.
That's what I'm talking about with Joe.
I was gonna say this stupid podcast, but
starting with pocket change.
The first thing I would change is this podcast name. I'm ready to give an ultimatum. It's either me or the name.
We have a name. I'm gonna say what the name is.
Don't say that name. That name sucks now.
Oh, that name sucks now.
What name? These guys with this name.
What if we go with Red Alert Podcast? Like, because we have Red Alert happens all the time.
No, we can't. We can't talk. We can't even talk. We're gonna lose our listeners talking about this anyway. What episode is this?
21, and we mentioned that in 19 of them.
Yeah,
at least it might be 20. Something about a name for this.
Stupid podcast. Hey, Joe.
This stupid podcast. 10 minutes at best podcast. 10 minutes at best podcast.
We should just make the podcast 10 minutes. That's it. Let's go.
All right, guys.
We're 3 minutes over.
Edit it down a little bit.
And then as soon as we get off here, you're gonna start texting Joe, and then be like,
we're 10 minutes over.
Maybe I might call Joe. We never know.
Oh, the call.
Oh boy.
I don't call. No, don't act like that. When was the last time I called you? I don't call you.
I know. I called you the other day, I think.
I don't call people because most people have better things to do than talk to me. So
that's the thing. People like to call.
People have reached out to me when I say that. They've reached out to me and tell me I can call them whenever.
Let's put your phone number across the bottom.
No, don't do that. Put it on the
call. Let's sell it.
Sell my phone number?
Yeah, I'm sure people would pay for it.
This is just a matter of Dan. I feel like you undersell yourself so much, and it's part of your thing. I get it, but you. Yeah, you don't do it on purpose, like because I don't want none of this is scripted. I've gotten to know Dan a little bit. It's not. It's definitely Dan.
Call you.
And I think you just undersell yourself too much, man. You're all right. You're smart with this enhancer. You're good looking.
No, my glasses are still foggy. Look at my. I've been tired.
Yeah, they are so fogged up. All right. I don't know. I don't have a lot of reselling stuff, guys. I'm kind of jittery today.
Well, I've got plenty of stuff.
Well, let's hear it then. What do you got? Oh, can I shout out a new podcast since maybe they'll watch 10 minutes of that one?
Oh, great! You got your You're taking a few listeners over to a new podcast. Are you on it?
Is
I'm
that
why you're a rental host?
I am. I'm a rental host.
Are you on that podcast?
Well, there's contracts in negotiation right now. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, you serious?
No. It's a friend of mine, Chad Corky Picker, just starting up. They're called Full-Time Reseller Podcast. Let me double check.
Better name than we have.
Full-Time Sellers, I believe.
Oh,
they're just starting up. They're episode 4,
we
but
can't, Joe, because you're not a full-time, are you?
No, but we could be full-time listeners because we barely sell
flipper.
shit.
Full-time
you can't say
Flippers
the S
podcast.
word on here. Oh, that's okay. Put it on ticker.
Oh, whatever. Nobody's listening anywhere on that.
I'm sorry, Chad Corky Picker. You didn't know their name. You're looking it up.
Chad the Corky Picker, and I don't know the other guy's new.
This is a great shout out for him.
Dennis I can't read it. Freaking. This is great.
You have bifocals?
I do. I'm trying to use them. That's them right there.
Where?
All right, that was terrible. Anyways, Full-Time Flippers podcast, Chad Corky Picker
Flippers.
and his co-host, which I don't remember his name. I only watched a couple episodes.
There's many weeks I feel like a full-time lister.
Yeah.
Go check them out though, because
anybody
unlike
else?
us. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe. Joe, you froze up. Sorry, that's why.
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
All right, go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
No, sales were down, so like I said, this week was full-time listing for me.
Yeah, they're full-time. They're full-time sellers.
They're full-time flippers.
Say the name one more time.
Full-Time Flippers podcast, and they're unlike us. It's a lot of actually really good eBay and reselling content. Like it's very, very informative.
So everyone should leave our podcast and go listen to that.
Exactly. It's not just us talking about random crazy.
What days does it come out?
Monday mornings.
Oh.
So add it to your
Wait,
list.
so are you going to be on that podcast?
No, I'm just.
You rental hosted it?
No, I'm not on it at all. He reached out to me for some like advice on. I know him pretty well.
Oh, because you've done plenty of podcasts.
Yeah, I've been on like 13 different podcasts for at least 10 episodes.
How many live shows have you been on?
A lot.
Hey,
let's dig into this. Let's dig into the problem child that is Jimmy. Jimmy has been on a lot of shows. He's bailed on most of them.
But you found the home
causing a ruckus.
You found the home here, but we just don't have a good name.
Yeah, and this home is like the most unstable home I've ever been.
Really? You think that for real?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The roof is barely hanging on.
I don't understand. What does that mean?
I don't know. So here's part of the problem with Jimmy. If you take me serious, you're taking me the wrong way. That was a joke. That's why that unstable home thing was just a joke.
Oh.
Although we do have two separate entities. There's the pocket change part of the podcast,
and then
there's the side,
the
leftover.
So yeah, reselling though.
I did a Whatnot show last week.
You
did? How'd that go?
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Were you part of the raid train?
I did the raid train last Tuesday, right? Because today's Monday. We recorded on Tuesday, and the show came out on Wednesday. Yeah. I did a show that day. It was probably my best show I ever had. I couldn't believe it.
He's back on board with Whatnot.
I'm back. Look, it's the rack's all filled up. I got a show.
They got you hooked in.
What do I show? Wednesday. I have a show Wednesday this week.
Look for Dan's link down below.
No, I ain't putting no link.
He's Whatnot Dan now.
So this drops on Wednesday. It'll be after this show. What time is your Whatnot?
12:30 Central, I think. I'm doing like
12:30 Central, folks. Let's make sure. Go check out Dan's Whatnot. Buy something from him. Oh, he's all right.
It's shirt. It's shirts.
No, buy a shirt. I can't buy one because you probably don't have my size, but I'll still do.
So no, 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Central, so 2 o'clock Eastern.
2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Central.
And then what's the other time zone?
Man in Demand on Whatnot.
Do you have? Show. I got a couple. I think the next week, and then I gotta go. I need to go to the bins. I'm gonna go to the bins one day to. It got me. I was like, man, it was really good. Like, so I say really good. Like really good. I grossed $192 on and Whatnot for 1 hour.
That's good. Yeah.
I mean, and I sold 30 some items, I think, and everything was just it was stuff I had. I was gonna donate a lot of it, and it was stuff I found from the bins. I had a few things. I had a few things that I sourced that I was like I wanted to make sure I got them in there, and they didn't. They didn't go. They went for about what I bought them for at the thrift store. I had like a couple toys, and I had a few toys that didn't even sell. But I think I only didn't sell out of 2 things. And the one thing I was surprised, I found this shirt. I was talking to you, Joe, after the show ended on last Wednesday.
Yeah.
It was a Coco from Disney Coco, the movie.
Yeah,
It was a
Yeah.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
I found it at the bins, and it was I got it, and I was like, I found it in like January, and I was like, I'll get it because maybe I'll do a show again on whatnot at some point. And so I had it just sitting in here, and it was a large. And when I looked at it, in my head I thought it was like a men's shirt, and it was like a youth large when I looked at it. So I was like, I'll throw it in this because there's a garage sale Ray Train. I'll put it in here, and that thing went for $15 for a
What?
T-shirt. Yeah.
What
So-
do you contribute the success to?
Well,
Do you know? Have you figured out why it was a?
So the Ray Train was Jen Multiverse. She started it
All right,
back
that's a
in
good start.
no, it was back in
Oh, okay.
August, September last year. I had just started selling in June, and I was kind of like, I don't know, I don't do any well on there. And she wanted to help me out, so she's like, oh, we'll do a Ray Train. So she gathered some people up, and then Paul the Philly Flipper, he was doing it too, and then it was kind of a thing for a while, and it kind of ran its course, I guess, and then Paul restarted it.
Yeah.
And this a few weeks ago, honestly, after I had a show in January, and then it was just kind of like I just needed a break from whatnot. Like it was so much pressure. I didn't like it. It wasn't fun. So I just quit entirely. I didn't go to shows. I almost deleted the app because it just
You're kind of like me. Like you're not sure if you're going to go back. I
didn't know if I wanted to do it. It was
it's
kind of a you go there. I mean, it's fun. It's kind of like watching like YouTube lives. Like you go there, you're in the chat, you're talking to people, but you're not getting any work done. So you're sitting there doing that kind of thing, and that's what was happening to me. So I was like, I just gotta people are they're starting shows all day and stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to go there and hang out and like do that, and I wasn't getting any work done. I'm like, I just have to stop. So I stayed away, and then Paul, I was cleaning out stuff in here, and I think that's what I mentioned last week. And Paul reached out and asked if I wanted to do it, so I said yeah, and then anyway, you asked me what contributed to doing well. I think it was just I had better items because I hadn't done a show in a month, and like when I don't get huge buys. I mean I'm hand picking everything I buy, and I was doing it weekly, and that doing it weekly I think was really hard was so much pressure because I had over a few months of stuff that I have found that this might be good for whatnot, this might be good for whatnot. Because I had collected a bunch of stuff, and I didn't.
Yeah, it's
I
hard
didn't have
to
to.
source for whatnot. Sourcing for whatnot is a challenge.
Unless
you don't have, like you said, if you don't have stuff just in bulk.
I mean, I don't. I mean, I buy stuff that's bad, and I buy a lot of stuff I shouldn't buy. But I'm still pretty picky. Like I don't buy everything I see.
Yeah.
Like I don't. I mean, I used to.
Yeah.
But I don't. I don't. Not everything is worth selling either. But like I don't know.
How many things did you have to ship? How many? Because that's a big part of whatnot that a lot of people don't talk about. You're boxing up a lot of stuff after a successful whatnot.
I'm glad you. Honestly, we're not scripted at all, but I'm glad you asked that because my biggest thing when I sell on whatnot was like, oh my god, like it's so annoying because not that I sold all this stuff, is that literally the one person bought everything because everything was so cheap, they just bought it all, and I'm trying to find these boxes. I had the most someone bought was like 5 items, and I shipped out 17 packages, I think.
Yeah, that's wild.
No, maybe not that. Maybe it's probably not that many. No, I think it was 17 because I gave a couple good giveaways away too.
So was it? Because these are the questions I asked because I've done a little bit of
a lot of people did one or two items. Was it?
Was most of it ground advantage? Was it priority mail?
No,
because that's a big part of it too.
It was like half and half. I had a few priorities. I had one, the biggest one, because I have set in my settings. I have anything over 5 pounds goes ground advantage. So my biggest thing was ground advantage, but and I had a few number 7 box. I had 2 number 7 boxes from the USPS. If you know what those, the 12 by 12 by 7, and then my ground advantage one, I had it all boxed up in the priority one, and I didn't realize it was over 5 pounds yet. So I had to go. I keep 12 by 12 by 12 eBay boxes. In my
because
you guys
it's a big thing to talk about with Whatnot. And that's why I wanted to ask that, because one of the things I wasn't really considering, but you have to consider if you're doing Whatnot, is your box and poly mailer and bubble mailer expenses, because you're shipping a lot and you're burning through that stuff when you do Whatnot.
Now, can you can
end up
combine
having to buy
orders, right?
more. What's that?
You can combine like orders. Like if I bought 4 or 5 things, it's one package though, right? I mean,
it will. Whatnot will automatically do that. But man, when you have a good show like Dan had, you're shipping out a lot. I mean, my best Whatnot show, I probably 20 something boxes in one day. You know.
Yeah.
So my clothing show I'm doing Wednesday, I'd say it's the one thing I like about doing the clothing thing, which I'm not 100% sure. Like the last time I did one, I liked it. It was fun. It was nice. But I do flat rate shipping on that because everything's kind of one size, and then you can just use the post office boxes. So it's all.
So what's the flat rate? $8.35 or something?
$8.35, and then you use any of the you can use padded flat rates. You use the large flat rates. You can use the medium flat rates, small flat rates, all those. Yeah. And then after 5 pounds, you can do the it goes to Ground Advantage. I haven't done that yet. One of my first shows, I don't know if I had done flat rate yet, and some guy bought. One of the reasons I wanted to quit, he was buying everything. Not that he was buying everything, but the way he was just like, I don't know if I've talked about it on here before. The way he was just like talking to me in the chat was driving me nuts. Because he was just like, "Oh, I'll buy if you want to sell it to me for $3, I won't sell it for $5." And it's like, dude, like I'm selling this for $5. Like I think we've talked about this before. I'm selling it for $5. Like if you want it, if you're not like, I don't want to buy it. Like I'll sell it. I'll sell it someplace else, man. Or
I think it was new with tag stuff, wasn't it? Wasn't it with like Carhartt or something, like his T-shirt or something?
Yeah, I don't think it was new with tags, but it was like a Carhartt or something
like a big size too, right?
I'm just trying to.
I mean, I know they have a buy it now section on Whatnot, but Whatnot, when you're doing the live shows, it's about getting multiple bidders. Like that's your ultimate goal. You don't want to just sell to one guy for a low dollar amount. Like you're hoping.
Well, they think I'm trying to like.
No, I'm going to scratch getting bidders. I want to just sell it to you for $3.
I did sell buy it now to listeners.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, Keith, Vintage Sports Flips. He bought
a.
Bought a because I loaded up one of my last few times I did it. Jen's multiverse. I'm pretty sure she doesn't listen, but she was like, you have to put something in your buy it now section, because I tried. She told me that eventually. Like Jen like I think I'm not sure if I'm pretty sure she still sells some stuff on eBay, but like Whatnot's her place.
Yeah.
So like when I got on, I'm always bothering her with questions from it. Probably annoyed. I think she might have blocked. No, she might have blocked me. I'm not sure.
She might have blocked.
No, she didn't block me. But I was constantly asking her about it, and she's like, make sure you schedule your shows out. Like, make sure you have multiple shows ready. Like, and load that buy it now, and constantly. And then I was just like, kind of like defeated because I didn't want to do it. And she's like, you have nothing in your buy it now. So my return, I was like, I gotta make sure I put stuff in my buy now. So I did, and it was a shirt that I've had.
I'll never put stuff in. I put stickers, and that's it. That's all
I did before, and then I stopped putting that because I always feel bad. I always feel bad someone buying a sticker from me. I feel so bad.
Why?
When I did videos, I have stamps, because if people want stickers, they can just message me and I'll send them a sticker. And I would just mail it out to them for free.
Ooh, that reminds me, I gotta send a viewer some stickers. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh yeah,
I bought some stamps. They're not. I think he listens, so they're not out in the mail just yet, because I had to go buy some stamps.
I don't know. So I had those a few times, but yeah, I put it. I don't ever know what to put in there. I don't want to put because then I feel weird, because it's like you put some shirts in there, and then it's like you're trying to sell a shirt you have it listed a shirt for like $5 in the auction, and then you're trying to sell something for like $30 in the buy it now. Like So like when I quit, I took down everything, because I had stuff. I had my marketplace up on there and everything, and I made one marketplace sale like off when I wasn't doing a show. I made one sale doing that, and I just gave up. You
straight up quit, but you're back.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna. Yeah.
He got sucked back in.
Well, I was kind of like. Well, I knew I was gonna come. Well, the other thing was like the packages, like Jimmy was talking about. It's getting to be spring again now. Like in the dead of winter, trying to drag out. I mean, I had like 3 IKEA bags when I did a show, but like I can't do the way I was doing it. It was just I was driving
I mean,
around stressed out about
That's
trying to find
good, Dan. That's what you want. That's
Now,
what
Dan, I know. Do you ever schedule pickups for mail to come to pick it up right from your house?
only when the weather's bad because I feel bad. Like having to like take like 5 IKEA. Well, I don't even. That's over. I've never taken 5 IKEA bags. Maybe if I did a whatnot show, maybe. I see some people, and yes, I understand the thing is to have a bunch of good set, like have a bunch of good thing, like you want to have that, like to do that. But if the way I'm doing here's my thing, is the way I'm doing whatnot, all those bags doesn't mean anything. It meant I probably made $15. Like it was like starting selling reselling. That's how I felt too. And I mean, it could be next week. I could have a bad show Wednesday, and next week it could be the same thing. I could be ready to jump out my window.
Yeah, quitting. That's what happened to me when I was on Whatnot.
Well, I'm not gonna quit, but
I had some good shows, and then I had some miserable no bid at all shows, and I thought it was decent stuff. But then that's why I hope it continues for you, because I was part of a raid, and that's that. So that's another question thing I want to talk about. When I got raided by the guy who doesn't listen to our podcast past 10 minutes, that show was so much fun. Like, because people were bidding, I had multiple bidders and stuff was going up past $5, just some plush that I was selling. That's addictive and fun. And you want that again and again and again. And then the next one I ran after I wasn't rated, again, just crickets. So I hope that doesn't happen to you, but it's been part of my biggest problem with Whatnot.
There's no chance my show's going to be as good as it was the other, because I already had that built in. I got rated by Evolving Farmhouse. She's big seller on Whatnot.
Okay.
And Paul started it off. He started it, and then he came on later. But it's like you have built in with those people. That's why it's good to be a part of those things, because they get you.
Did you gain a bunch of followers from that too?
Yeah, I think so.
Now, is it good just to is it an opportunity to just be a part of that raid train for, like, whenever you do a show, and just do it during the raid train shows instead of
on your own. I mean, I feel like you want to, because if you're consistent, you could help them too. Like, I mean, they're basically helping me. I'm not really doing anything for them, right? That's how I feel.
I bet you he claims them, Joe. Unlike us, he won't claim us as pocket change.
Who?
But I bet you he claims all the people in the raid train.
What do you mean claim them? What do you mean?
You don't claim. You just said you're not affiliated with us, but you're affiliated with the raid train.
Well, it's not. No. Well, I'm not. I'm not on it. It's Tuesday. If you guys go over to Whatnot in the garage sale category, Paul puts it on every
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's every Tuesday.
So what are you going to do it every couple of weeks or so?
Well, I don't know when Paul asked me again. Like if I
Paul, if you're listening, pencil Dan in for
Well, I don't know if Paul listens past 30 minutes.
Yeah,
no, but I thought now you're putting me on the spot, because I was thinking, I might ask Paul if I could, maybe once a month, if he needs a spot, I could do it or something. Like,
he actually asked me, and it was right when the middle of everything was happening with my family and stuff. So I had to tell him I'm not right now.
Maybe I replaced you. I might have replaced you.
I don't know about that.
I could have been the second fiddle.
You are. Yeah, you're the leftovers again. Yes,
the leftovers.
It's fitting. It's perfect. No,
it was perfect. There's a perfect name, and you guys ruined it.
Well, does the leftovers have any other meaning, Dan?
It could, but not if you're a reseller. Leftover,
look up leftovers.
Any political meaning behind that, or any?
No.
Oh, all right. I'm just asking. I'm asking for a friend.
Well, pocket change.
Friend's friend.
Here's a question. I got a text from Jimmy last week, and it was a picture of a pocket change ashtray or change thing. Do you have it? Did you get it?
No.
Did he buy it?
So,
did the listener or viewer buy it?
My friend Cherie, she sent me the picture, and she said that someone else found it and showed it to her, or she saw it and she asked for a picture of it. So, and that person bought it, so she didn't have even a chance
to buy it for.
For her, their pocket change.
Was it gold? Was it gold?
Well, look brass or something, didn't it?
It's like brass. Yeah, it's like
a. It's worth money.
Good thing is pocket change name sucks. So do we really want it?
Well, that's my thing. I was gonna be like, if you don't have it with you, there's no way like you can keep the name. Like you guys can't keep the name. Whatever.
Yeah.
Really.
Again,
Can we be a part? Can we be a part of the leftovers with Dan? Is that even an option, or we don't?
But you know what we did mess up with is because after my my whatnot show we started talking about that, but I was telling you about that Coco thing, and you were telling me about I wish that would have happened before because you told me Coco is like good stuff to find, right, Joe?
Well, I only know that because my daughter Riley was in the Coco when she was younger, and we couldn't find anything Coco. We couldn't find any Coco toys, nothing. They were very hard to come by, even like outfits of Coco. But
I've
she
seen
loved
the
that
Coco guitar at yard sales before.
Yeah. Well, the Coco guitar a few years ago, that was good money. A few years ago.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So we gotta look it up. I guess you still gotta look it up now though.
I'm
But
supposed to know toys.
I can't believe it's on a t-shirt, a youth t-shirt for $15 is crazy.
It was so hard. It was so hard to find. Anything that we found Coco was like the Etsy sellers would have it, like something that they were making at home, make it on their own or something. Whenever we looking for a t-shirt, because we went to Disney in 2020 and they had nothing really Coco there, but in Mexico, in Epcot Center was the only thing that they had Coco, and they had very few toys. I ended up asking somebody at Disney, and that was one of the movies that they made very few toys for.
Wow.
That's why they became
Polo.
Yeah.
I like that movie. I've seen it a couple times.
The movie's awesome. Awesome.
And I want to watch it.
Yeah, and Riley must have watched it 100 times.
You've seen it, Dan?
I saw it once. I vaguely remember it though.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
But that guitar a few years ago was worth. I don't know how much it was. I think I ended up buying it used on eBay, and I think I sold it again for the same price that I bought it for. 3 months later, 4 months after Riley stopped playing.
Did you learn how
to
play the guitar?
Nah, it was one that you play. It was built-in songs. You just had to hit one button.
One of those people
you didn't give it to Riley?
Yeah, Riley played with it. I bought it for her on there, and she played with it for a few months. And then after she was done playing with it, I ended up selling it again.
Oh,
so I think I got like $50 for it, 40 or $50 for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. That's better than a lot of the guitars for like video game guitars. Pretty good.
Oh, like Guitar Hero?
We're still talking about the guitar, right?
Yeah.
You ever make sure when you guys buy Guitar Hero guitars, check to see if they separate at the neck. Makes them a lot easier to ship.
Have you sold one of those in a long time? I haven't found those in a long time.
I saw one. I've seen them at the bins a couple times. I don't buy them though; they're just too heavy, and they're usually pretty dirty. And I always grab them and look for the dongle though.
Yeah, the dongle.
Yeah.
Is dongle still worth money? I don't ever find.
Yeah.
There's a couple people. The
little USB ones are really good right now. The ones that for like the newer one, like Guitar Hero Live or whatever it is.
Oh.
It's just like a little USB. It looks like a little USB mouse receiver, but it's got guitar GH on it. Man, those I think you can get. Last time I checked, you could get like $50 just for that dongle.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gone down, but last time I checked,
so I might find them this summer when I'm garage.
Because a lot of the older ones, they were maybe that's why they called it a dongle, because they kind of just dangled there. There was a wire and it would
that's the one I'm talking about. I don't think I ever found the newer one that you're saying.
So maybe that's called like a receiver or something, but it's really small. So I'm always looking down in there when I see the guitars, because I found a couple of the, I think it's called Guitar Hero Live. It's the newer ones. And I know that because one time I bought a set at a yard sale, and I didn't even sell the guitars. I'm just selling these dongles. I'll just put the guitars on the yard sale, and I made good money just off those little receivers. So that's a bolo. But there's some other ones. There's some of the other ones for like the other systems that do really well too.
Yeah, I never bought any of the Guitar Heroes that didn't break apart. I was always nervous to ship them.
So if you don't know, when you pick up a guitar and you turn it over, there's like a little toggle switch there. You just hit that toggle, or like a flip switch, and you pull it apart, and the neck comes off. Way easier to ship that way.
I forget.
So
I made a video about how to ship a Guitar Hero guitar.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Well, a couple of years ago. I don't remember if it. I think it had the.
What'd you put the two USB boxes?
1095 and 10. Yeah, that one in my. I have a game, board game.
Yeah, I have a board game. I have a tennis racket.
Still get comments today. Still get comments.
Yeah.
But just on that dongle topic, real quick. You know how I learned about dongles?
How?
I just love saying that word dongle. I bought a GameCube one time and I got it super cheap. It was just the GameCube, right? No wires, no nothing. But the every single plug for controller in the front had a Wavebird dongle plugged into it. You know about Wavebird dongles?
No.
Never heard of it.
Wavebird is a wireless controller that they made for like the GameCube. The dongle at that time alone, I got like $55 a piece for those dongles.
What's it called? Wavebird?
Wavebird receiver or dongle. The controller is not worth much at all, but that little receiver dongle, I mean, I'm still sure it's worth over 40. It's just a little gray box and so when I found those and I was like, oh, what are these? I didn't know what they were. And I looked them up and I was like, holy, there was 4 of them in there. So I got over $100 over $200 for the 4 of them. Way better than the GameCube itself. So little bolo for you there. Wavebird dongle. So if you ever see a Wavebird controller, you have to ask, do you have the receiver? I find those controllers with no receivers all the time, though.
Oh, really?
That's probably why the receiver is worth money.
Yeah, they're getting like $50 for them still.
Yeah, it's pretty well.
58, 44 plus shipping. 66 was with the.
They're very recognizable. They have like a little roller wheel on the bottom to change the channel on it. Like they have, the different channel receiver. So it's just like a little roller wheel you can turn to change the receiving channel.
I don't think
recognizable.
I don't think I ever seen one.
Huh? Yeah.
I'll keep an eye out this summer though. Dan, you also keep an eye out when you're at garage sales.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do it
at the bins. Well, I got to go to garage sales. We talked about that already. Huh?
I'm
talking to my buddy Larry tomorrow. I got my Magic the Gathering cards. They came in the mail, and so I'm gonna do a video chat with my good buddy Larry Way Out One tomorrow. He's gonna look at them and let me. I don't think I have anything good, but the good I've sold Magic cards before in just lots. Like here's a lot of 20 cards, and that's when I'll do an auction.
Yeah,
$5 auction starting at $5. There's hundreds and hundreds of cards in that binder. So if I can get even $5 for 20 cards, I'll make my money back pretty quick.
Okay.
So we'll see. Maybe I'll ask him to help me make up some good lots.
There you go.
Joe, you said your sales weren't good this weekend?
No, I don't. No.
What about you, Jimmy?
Not great, but I have a friend that's killing us. So I don't even understand. He's destroying it, and he sells mainly like remote control airplane parts and kits and stuff.
Really?
And maybe it's because the weather's getting better.
Where's he get that stuff at?
I have a video with him. You remember Jeff from Score? Yeah, Jeff. So he messaged me, man, I'm killing it. It's like I did a video where I went to yard sales with him, just like let's go yard sales. Okay, let's go. And he asks at every sale. Like he asks you got any
yes, if you have remote airplane parts.
Yeah, and twice that day they pulled it from like the rafters of their garage and sold it to him. It wasn't in the sale at all. So man, I learned a lesson that day. I was like, man, you have to just ask. Just ask.
Yeah, I have a garage, airplane motor.
Is it gas?
It's not listed because I don't know how to test it. I don't even know if it works.
Is it gas?
I believe it's for a gas one. Yeah,
you should be able to turn it to make sure it's not seized up. That's the main thing you want to check.
That's the main thing.
If it turns and it's not seized, you should be good to go.
Where did you get that at, Joe?
I think I picked it up at a yard sale. I think I seen it.
Oh, did you ask?
No, they had it there, and it was. I think I got it for $1 or $2 or whatever.
Yeah, so my sales are just okay. They're not great at all. I'm not happy with where they're at. I'm testing some promoting stuff again.
Would you change?
But there are people out there that are selling like crazy, so it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really list much this past week, so I think that had a lot to do with it. And I don't know. I feel like I'm a clothing reseller now, Dan. I sold out of the 7 things I sold over the weekend, 5 of them were clothing items.
And how was shipping? It was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I didn't ship them yet. I'm going to do it after this. So I expect I'll probably have 4 returns next week.
Don't say that. Are you going to?
I've been selling hats.
I have 2 returns. I had a return for I sold a pair of shoes that were I listed them as a size 9.5 and they were size 7.5. Put the wrong size in there.
Just a typo, or did you list similar? Or
I don't remember because they were listed so long ago. But I I was talking about because Matt bearded poke tuber he like caught 2 that he saved me, and a few weeks ago I told you I was like, oh, how, like I wonder how many are messed up. Like this was one of them. Like so I got those coming back, which I'm glad they're pretty nice. A lot of times, sometimes they'll be nasty to me when I do. I've done that a few times. They'll be nasty to me, and I'm like, I look in the pictures, you can see that they're 7.5. Like so, like I want to be like, I understand. I understand. I messed up.
Like listen, I'm human, so I miss. They're right, they're on this right there on the.
I don't know if I copied it or I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I try to rush, I try to do more listings, or try to do I'm going to do this, and like I mean sometimes I space out too. Obviously,
when it comes time to list, I'm pretty quick, but man, I'm so like that's. Like I am thorough. Like I check everything twice probably, so it takes me a little bit longer.
That's what I need to do. I don't do that, and
the shoes they're old. They've been listed for a while.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I who knows what I was doing
when you're typing in stuff, man. Yeah, you gotta prove it's hard, but volume over. I don't know.
I had to cancel an order over it this weekend. Somebody actually reached out to me. Those things that like those cookie press things, and then you can have different like shapes. They're like those. Usually they sell around the holiday time or whatever. Well, I was selling a set of Christmas ones. They were brand new in the pack, but the barcode must be the same for the springtime ones and the Christmas ones. So of course I listed sell similar, and it said Christmas. Oh no, it said springtime ones. And I had the Christmas ones. So somebody reached out to me and asked me if it was the Christmas ones or, your listing says springtime, but the pictures show a Christmas one. I said, oh, they are the Christmas ones. I said, sorry. And before I changed it, I was in the middle of doing something. Before I changed it, somebody bought it.
Oh, boy.
So I messaged them immediately after they bought it. I said, hey, did the pictures of it are the Christmas ones? Are you looking for the Christmas ones or the springtime ones? They said, I thought I bought the springtime ones. I said, well, I only have the Christmas. Do you want me to cancel it? They said, yeah. So I had to cancel it. And after that, I fixed the order. I fixed the,
yeah, I mean, I had a pair of shoes that I sold not too long ago where I did sell similar, and they were in the wrong category as women's shoes.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to return for that. Yeah. But it happens to the best of us. Proof right there.
Isn't there a trick to figure out if it's a women's shoe or a men's shoe?
Yeah, you just send the message to Dan, and he'll be like,
"Well, I used to know. What is it? Is it
I forget what it is. So it has to do with the European size, right?
Oh, just like button-up shirts. Did you guys know button-up shirts? Women's versus men?
Oh, left and right.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Did you know that, Jim?
Yeah, I've known that for a long time, and I would like to.
Women's button-up shirt button from the other side. That
when I worked at the casino, my shirt always buttoned like a women's shirt, and I'm confused all the time.
Women's shirts, women's shoes.
Women's shoes.
What's next, man?
So I used to not button it up, and I would
just found out last week that you're a stripper, man.
I would pull it over my head. I would stop buttoning because it was hard to button.
I didn't know that was a thing till I sold a woman. Happened years ago.
Yeah, that's how I tell.
And then Sonia told me, and I was like, "What?" And so I tried like putting it around me just to feel what it was like to button it up, and obviously it didn't fit, but it felt weird. It's like, oh, this is backwards. This isn't supposed. Yeah.
Jeans. You can put if you can put your hand like all the way in their men's jeans, and if you can like put it halfway, they're women's. They're women's.
Make sure they're your jeans that you're putting.
Yeah,
them
make sure.
Make sure they don't have to be your jeans.
You don't want to be at the Goodwill asking someone, "Hey, can you try these on for me?"
Don't test people on their jeans.
Yes, that's what I mean. Don't go around asking people to
insert sound effect here. Dan doesn't like my jokes. He thinks I'm picking on him. It's just for fun, man. I just pictured you at the Goodwill. Hey, can I stick my hand down your
down your pants
in your pocket?
Oh, in the pocket.
I'm looking for pocket change. Hey, that'd be a good opener for you guys' podcast. Talking. You guys are making fun of me.
What's your hand doing in my pocket?
Oh, looking for pocket change. Oh, they're right here. Then show them on your Apple. Look for the hot air balloon.
Look for the hot air balloon.
I just looked to see if we don't have another review we can't talk about. I can say though, on our I The one time I was like, man, we really did really good this week. Like, and I send you guys a thing on our audio. Like it takes a nosedive, but we had 133 downloads last week on our audio. I don't know if that's good or bad.
I think that's good.
That's good, right? I think so.
Was it better than the week before?
I think so. No, you're asking too many questions, Joe.
I know. Well, I'm trying here, Dan.
Yeah, the week before we had 133 and we were at 131. So the week 19 did better by 2. But we still have one. We still have 2 days. We still have today because we're recording on Monday this week.
Yeah, we get a lot of listens this time of week and views.
So?
So,
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, and I watch the YouTube channel, like the numbers. I love the analytics of YouTube and stuff. I'm looking at our numbers all the time, like, well, you know, we have a good solid 300 regular listeners, but all of our videos get like these tail end views that just take it above 300 every time. But it always happens like way later after the videos come out. Like if you look at our numbers, all except for like our first 3 episodes, they're all way over 300 now, and they're still getting views to this day. So anyway, appreciate all the viewers and listeners. If you are listening and you're one of those 300 plus that haven't subscribed to YouTube, please subscribe.
That'd be great. Go. Oh, that was nice. That was nice, Jimmy.
Well, that was just for me and Joe. That was just for the pocket change side of this. Sorry.
Well, all you leftovers. Everyone who's a leftover, comment leftovers. So how you like that? They'll all be talking to me.
Oh, you're watch. It's gonna be everybody. Everybody's gonna say my favorite part of the podcast.
If it's not, I'm not gonna be here next week because then I'll be so mortified. I'll be so embarrassed because you guys made me sound like I was a big deal at the beginning, and then right now you're building my spirits up, and then if I don't see comments leftovers down there, I'm gonna be.
Your name is brought up in the comments more than anybody on Pocket Change.
Oh, yeah. So you guys are jealous now. Yeah. You're jealous.
Well, leftovers. I don't know, Dan. I kind of like that, but hopefully people don't dig into what the real meaning is.
Don't see. You're putting this weird spin on it.
I'm not putting the rules.
You're trying to like sabotage it. You already sabotaged it once. Stop sabotaging me.
This is an example of why it should be Red Alert Podcast because we're in the middle of one right now. Listen, all y'all, it's a sabotage. But just to help Joe sabotage it.
Before.
Go to YouTube. Everybody else listen. Go to YouTube and look up Leftovers Podcast.
Don't do that.
Do it right now.
Don't do that. Don't.
It's not going to be Dan. I'm telling you right now. It's not going to be Dan.
But it's a reseller leftover. Come on.
Reseller leftover. So you changed it a little bit.
My bad. We didn't have that last time.
Jeez, man.
So wait, you're not just the leftovers. You're a reseller.
I'm the reseller leftover.
Okay.
Because I'm left over. I have no place. I don't want to be on Pocket Change. I'm contractually obligated to be here, I guess.
Hey, be careful how you say that now.
Oh, geez.
That's like
I don't have your name and ink.
Huh?
I don't have your name and ink.
Whatever.
Come on, Dan.
Whatever.
Can we start like recruiting you to Pocket Change? Is that even possible? Like, is there a recruitment that we could do?
I kind of despise the name. I
despise the name.
Okay. The only way is a name change that you like.
Yeah, we'll see. I could get tired of anything. Who knows?
Yeah. So
we never know.
Go ahead, Joe.
I do like Red Alert, but I feel like you'd have to have more important stuff to say than we have to say on our podcast.
Yeah.
Like, I do like that. I really actually kind of like that.
But he likes it right now, folks. But some of our Red Alerts is the fact that he likes a name, and then
I feel like if you hear Red Alert, you're gonna think it's like important information. Some of the Red Alerts are just like someone commented and asked me why I haven't shipped something yet. They'd be like, "Yeah, you're a grown man. Like, grow up a little bit, you doofus."
Reseller Red. How about then maybe we make it Yellow Alert? Reseller Yellow Alert.
Well, now it doesn't seem like it's important to listen to. Yeah. Red Alert makes it sound like you have something good to say.
I'm just trying to help you not be misleading, Dan.
Well,
no. There's Red Alerts that mean different. That's like a different level to everybody. Like Dan's Red Alert is like Dan mentioned. Somebody commented on it. So why didn't you ship this? Mm-hmm. My Red Alert might be that I got 3 items pulled down on eBay in one day. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's a good idea. We could do the Red Alert.
They're different.
And we can make sure we put that into the weekly topic of what's our Red Alert for this week. What's my Red Alert? My red alert. I mean, all of our red alert is when there was a comment made on a live, and oh boy, it hit the fan, folks. We already talked about that. We're not going to go into that more.
Well, they're not listening
we had a
anyway.
big red
We're
alert.
54 minutes.
We could call it Code Dan podcast.
Well, I think we should go heel, and we should just
go full heel.
Yeah, if you guys, most people know what heel is, right?
Yeah,
if you don't, it's like
the back of your foot, right? When you're walking and you step.
Well, no, I mean
you get your plantar fasciitis in it.
Oh, my flat feet are killing me right now. I've been taking. I did. Saturday was Salvation Army was half off of all clothing, so I went there and loaded up on stuff. So I've been trying to take pictures and list, but eBay won't let me list today, and I'm getting mad.
You guys want to get really make Dan not happy? Talk to him in emojis and text.
No, I just didn't understand.
I know. I think I might have been on accident because I don't even know why it's there. That's why I said.
So I sent a link for the show, which I don't know. I don't even know if I'm supposed to send it to you, Jimmy, because you can just get in here. So I sent it to Joe, but I sent it to you anyway too, because I don't know. But he gives me like this shock emoji. So I'm like, I was like, okay, what does that mean? And he doesn't say anything.
I did this. That
was this morning, but I asked last night. And then I saw you saw it. I looked. I was like curious, and I was like, "What does that mean?" Like I didn't know.
That's why he doesn't text me or call me, Joe.
Well, there are some emojis that I have no idea what they mean.
Like it was
I woke up this morning and I saw that.
Like,
I don't even remember doing that. Like I think I must have fat fingered that on accident because I don't remember.
I didn't know what it meant. And then when we come on, it says rental host up there. So it's like I guess Jimmy's quitting or something. Like I thought you were quitting.
Jimmy too serious. Huh? We have code. I thought about quitting.
So
really?
No, not at all.
Oh, an emoji could set the red alert.
Oh yeah. Well, because I don't know what it means. What does it mean?
I didn't know what it means.
And I looked. I investigated before I asked. I was like, did he was like doing the thumbs up, and in between. Like, oh man, what was it? It's angry, and was it laughing? I'm like, I have no idea why someone would send me that emoji. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Mike, so if you want to just get this red alert, Dan, just start messaging him in emojis. It's fine.
Dan on demand. No, Wednesday I'm gonna be super busy, dude. Because I'll feel bad. On Wednesday. Don't do it on Wednesday.
Don't do it today.
Do it Thursday. Send them a random emoji.
No, I'm busy the rest of the week, I think.
You can message me in emojis then.
You can message
Old School Flips on Instagram.
Oh,
because I'll message you back in emojis.
Really?
Code red.
Yeah. Oh, is this you can put a code red up for him?
Hey, I
wasn't mean or nothing. I just asked what it meant. I know. I don't know what it means. I don't know what that meant.
I know. I didn't.
I don't know because I mean, hey.
Are you guys big emoji guys? Like
no, not really. I'm not at all. That's why I was asking. I didn't know what it meant. But like
gifts, is that what they're called? Gifts.
We're an hour in, so like these are hardcore pocket change / Dan reseller leftovers that are here. Like, I mean, we're on episode 21. It's been a long time since we've had almost an atomic bomb thrown on this podcast. And
whoa, all right, Oppenheimer, take it easy.
Oh, did you see that movie? It's on Peacock.
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. But no, I'm saying like we've had our things, Jimmy. Like we want to make sure. Like I just didn't know what it meant. It wasn't. I don't know what it means. So I didn't know.
When I woke up this morning, this is total transparency, Dan. I don't remember doing it. I don't know if I did it on purpose or not. I'm not joking. I woke up because I was in bed when you messaged me back. I was already asleep. And I woke up this morning and I saw your message. I was like, oh, what did I do? I was like,
I just didn't know what it meant.
And so then I'm like, this is what I was hoping. This is literally what I thought. If Dan knows me, and I just feel like Dan still doesn't know me very well. I joke with everybody. I joke around all the time. And so I literally was like, I'm going to give him a as a joke. Like it's going to be totally. And I laughed when I sent that. It was funny.
Oh, the second one was the too. And I was like, this dude is replying to me in emojis now.
That's the reason why I don't respond to them. I never use. I'm an LOL guy.
Yeah,
I told you before. I put them in the wrong, I use them in the wrong context. So I can only imagine using the emojis wrong.
Joe will either You can tell if it's Joe's easy to read. It's either good, LOL, and if he's shocked, it's Jesus. Just Jesus.
or damn. I'll throw a damn in there.
But you guys,
I thought you said
you
damn.
should know by now. Like we have a chat that we talk, and every once in a while, you guys will include me, which I appreciate. By the way, I feel like the leftovers in the chat.
Oh my
or the
god.
text. I respond with gifs and emojis all the time to you guys. You guys can get an idea that I use them a lot. Like I'm always sending them.
I was just curious. It wasn't like I just
No,
didn't
I know.
understand. I didn't understand what that meant.
I was worried that you were mad at me again.
I mean, I was mad. I was mad.
Again. You were?
I was because I didn't know what it meant.
I didn't. Yeah, you're. Well, it means shocked. Which maybe I was shocked that you're actually gonna come back because of what happened on.
That did cross my mind a little bit. No, I wasn't. I don't know.
If I did it, that would be the only reason I can think of why I did it on purpose.
I don't know. Well, we had already talked about we were doing the show today. We were doing it because I almost was like, I'm done. I don't.
I was worried when you sent us because we're recording at a different time, folks. I thought Dan's like, oh, he's testing us now.
No, I have stuff. Well, because we usually record on Tuesdays, but we have an option to record on Monday. I have something to do, like in the well, not me. My mom has something to do, and she watches Dodger on in the morning, so I have to leave to go get him at a specific time. So instead of us having to record super early, because for you guys, we just record today, which works out good.
We could, we gotta respect.
Which I messed up my day today too, though. I wanted to go to the bins today, but would you say reschedule?
No, we gotta respect Joe's schedule. If Joe doesn't show up, though, we can get Paul. They're the same person.
Well, don't be trying to get rid of Joe.
Hey, it's my podcast. This is Pocket Change's mine.
You can have it. I don't want it. Joe and I will start our own podcast.
No, me and Joe are equal owners of Pocket Change. Now it's 50-50. So that's pretty good. It's no longer 33.3333333333. Now it's just 50-50.
And
Dan's 100% leftover.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm the remainder. Ooh, the remainder.
Ooh. See, this is what happens. He thinks of names but then he won't like it tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because you have to say it.
Like the doggy bag. The doggy bag.
You have to say it a few times, and then it gets. I don't know. Oh wait, I do want to go back though. Back, you said you were. So we get back to a little bit of. You said you were changing up your promoted listings. So what did you? So last week.
Yeah, go ahead.
What did you do last week? You did flat fee.
Man, these analytics are important when it comes to promoting, and I've been looking at them really closely. I'm now looking closer at clicks, not impressions, clicks.
Like groups of people, a click?
Like someone actually clicked on your listing. No, like, me and Joe, Pocket Change, click.
Click.
Yeah.
The click. That's a good
I did a whole week at 5% flat, and for a week, my organic clicks were the exact same, almost exactly the same amount as my promoted clicks, which means I'm still getting double the clicks, but it wasn't, my promoted clicks were not any higher than my organic clicks. Like they were both right around the exact same number every day last week. I mean, within 5 of each other all week. Sometimes my organic clicks were higher than my promoted clicks. Well, for me, I don't want to promote it. That's all I'm getting out of it. So and I looked back at when I was doing with an 8% ceiling, and my promoted clicks were way higher than my organic clicks. So to me, that's where it pays off, right? Like that's the difference when you go above 5%. I'm only saying this because I don't want the whole world to know. This is because we're to the hardcore listeners now. So I'm trying something new. This one, I don't know if I'm going to share it. I'm no longer running a sale. I'm trying this for this week. No sales at all. This is controversial. I'm taking the savings away from my customers, my buyers. I'm not running any sale at all. And I'm taking that 15% sale that I would run, and I'm making that my ceiling for promoted.
Okay.
Because I want to see how many clicks I will get.
What you're doing, you just promoted the max is 15%.
So I'm doing the rule where it's trending. So I'm promoting at trending with a ceiling of 15%. And what I want to do next week is what I'll do next week towards the end of the show like this is I'll follow up with you guys like how much better the clip. I just started that yesterday. So I'm gonna run it all week.
Do you think a week's long enough to do? I always thought
see
like
the change. I can see the changes
because
right
I just
there
feel
on
like
the
if you're starting up, I think you're gonna
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be bigger next week because you're promoting more. But if you
let
went
me-
the next
let me-
week and you dropped it, you're gonna see less. Like
Let me just read something to you real quick though. Let me just read. This is why I feel like you're right. I think you're right, but I think it's also instantaneous too because I'm gonna go to my clicks right now and I changed it yesterday. All right, the day before yesterday, I had 234 organic clicks and 219 promoted clicks. All right, yesterday I changed it. I had 564 promoted clicks and 178 organic clicks. So right away, my clicks more than doubled in one day of changing it. So for me, I like that. Now the sales are the ultimate answer. Does it result in sales, right? And and what I like new now is with the new when you get an offer, it tells you what the ad rate will be if they clicked on promote. And I've declined a couple because that's another thing I'm finding out, man. That like whether we like it or not, this could be the new thing because I'm getting 8% wasn't high enough. I'm getting trendings are like at 10 and 12. I'm getting a lot of 10 and 12s. When they send the offer, it tells me like if you accept this offer, a 12% ad fee. That means the trending is 12% right now. So I think people are promoting higher and higher. And it can be affecting sales. So anyway, this is test stuff that I love to do. I'm testing this all out.
Now, did you always run your promoting with a sale? Did you always run a sale?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So now the big difference is I used to wait 30 days to put stuff on sale. So now I'm using promoted right off the bat as soon as I list something at 15%. So stuff that's getting listed right away is going to be promoted at that 15% cap. But, if I get more sales out of it, it sucks for my buyers that I'm taking away some of those sales. But that wasn't working. It wasn't, my sales were dead. So this is like the perfect time to just test stuff.
Well, so is your campaign, did it start yesterday and end Saturday?
I just edited the original campaign.
Oh, see,
you never end a campaign.
I always understand. I've always ended.
Tim said that, and sorry, go ahead then.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like I've just always other people that I've heard talk about it before too. I always because mine will dip. I do mine Monday, Tuesday, and then I end it, and then I do Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, and then I do Friday through Sunday. I do that every week because like mine will shoot up and then it'll die. So that's just kind of what I've always done. I never. I do the same thing. I kind of like end mine. I do the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then do like Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and Friday.
The big question is like, do you think the analytic? Because the numbers are there. They're there for you to look at. I could put up the last 13 months of my clicks on this, and because I've ran this, my last one this is all the same one. I've just changed it. Like it's all the same. Like throughout, like, man. So I ran here we go. Last 13 months, I ran the same. For most of that 13 months, I ran the same promoted, and in 13 months, I had $100,000 in sales on that promotion, gross sales. So to me, that's not going stale. And the graph shows that it's basically all the same the whole year. Now, the only thing I don't have is an example of
so you don't have to tell us, but
where I changed it.
So this first 3 months or 2 months, the first 2 months you weren't trending anywhere near like getting that.
It dived. It's been diving. So, but I can see on my same graph where I switched it to 5% and it's way down. Like it's way down.
Well, so I switched a few years ago, I did trending, and my cap was 10%. And then like I think we've talked about it on here, but sorry if you
Yeah.
The way I thrift for most of my stuff, it was like it just didn't seem to work for me, and I decided that I was going to switch to switch to 5%, and I just it's just 5% is what I did, and I took a hit for like the first. I knew it was going to go down because I went such a big drastic stop. Like I thought maybe I should go like 8%, 9%, or 8 or 9%, and then go all the way down. But I cut it in half, and I knew it was going to be bad. And I just kept listing and getting through there, and then it finally it's leveled out where it's my new norm now. So like taking from what were you doing before you went to 5%? You were doing trending in 10%,
8
or 12, 8. Oh, is at 8. That 8 to 5 is not like it's not. Crazy.
No, but it definitely
3%, but 3 points. But I could see why jumping to 15 would like. How many of your sales are 15%? That is the other thing I noticed. Once I went whatever my trending was, like every one of my sales was the max.
That's what I felt like because I used to use my max to be like. My max would be like weird numbers. I would do it like 9.7 or 9.4 or something, and literally every. At the end of that campaign, my sales were in the 9s. You know what I mean?
So my ceiling was 8%. My average ad rate was 7.8.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. Yeah. So basically
8%. This will be a hard one for me because in the comments down below, and I know I'm not. I love to have the facts. Here's the one fact I'm missing. I've never turned it off. So I think
you're gonna get crazy and want to turn it right back on. It's like that's why I was asking if that's long, like a week to do something is long enough, because I feel like you get scared, and you're like, I gotta turn this back on because I'm not making any sales other than maybe it's a slow week, but then I'm like I'm yanking it up because you know what I'm saying, like that's the only thing.
No, I'm willing, and I will go into it knowing like my sales are gonna dive this week, like they're gonna crash. I'll have to prepare myself for that. But I'll probably do a week of just turning it off and just look at my organic stuff and see what it looks like. It's gonna be. I don't know. It's all. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of it. I'm not the biggest fan of promoting, but I know it.
That's the one. I mean, it's one thing. It comes up in this. I think it's probably the third or fourth time we've talked about it. It's interesting to see. I mean, it's cool to see how other people are thinking and doing things on it, and then. Some people they won't think of it. They won't think anything. I was going to do, I switched down to 4%, and then I got scared because it was like kind of slow. But
I think
I just went right back up to 5. Not that that's crazy, but then I was like kind of nervous. Okay. But then I took in other factors. I wasn't really listing. The sourcing was dried up. I wasn't sourcing like sourcing very good. And so I wasn't listing a ton. So then it was like kind of that. Maybe that was factors why my sales sucked too. Like,
no, but I think that's a big thing too, is having to, being able to stick with whatever you're trying to. Because that was my biggest thing. Like in the beginning of the year, I'm like tired of promoting and not doing it. I was just going to run some sales or whatever. But like as I saw my sales die, I was like, I can't keep trying to do this. I have to go back to what's working for me. I think that's the biggest thing, is whether, that's the scary part about it. Are you able to hang on to run this, run this all the way through to see what it's going to be.
We're going back to if you went to 5, from going to 8 to 5, if you tried 5 for say like a month, like you think by that month it would have evened out, and then you could see maybe some clicks that are better, and then you're making that money back that you can maybe send an offer to someone, or instead of doing a sale, or bring a sale back if you gave it longer than the week is I don't know.
Yeah, and there's other factors that can skew those numbers.
Like how much can eBay make you like constantly want people to cut you off,
right?
But like go up to like 15% or 20%.
Yeah, I know.
Like you're gonna end up never making any money.
15. That's my at that point I start turning into that stubborn seller where I'm not doing it.
I remember when it first came out, I was like, I'm not going above 5%. And next thing you know, I was there at 10%. Like, and then, you know, I mean, if people are at 15, and I'm sure people are saying that they're never going to 20. And next thing you know, they're going to be at 20. Like where's the ceiling at where, you know, to make those sales?
I was gonna, yeah, because at some, you know, it all becomes what you have into your items. Like there's people out there that have less into their items. It's kind of like
that's what it goes back to, like
on Whatnot, because you don't have a lot into it, right?
Yeah.
But like it always goes back to when you hear people say like you make your money in the buy. Like if you're not making, you know what I mean? And I think that will all factor in your final cost of what it takes to sell that item, whether it's going through promoting and all that and running a sale or a combination of one or the other, or just, you know, all promoting. That you got to factor that all in there is, you know.
Yeah. Another thing that can skew those numbers that I do it sometimes, I don't do it enough, but there's people that I know for a fact they end and sell similar every day. Well, I do know that ending and selling similar boost does give that entire listing and the promotion, that gives it a lift, because I have stuff that has 0 views in the last 30 days. If I end and sell similar to that item that had 0 views in the last 30 days, it starts getting views right away.
Do you do that? Do you do that?
I don't do it enough. I do it occasionally.
I've watched other people. I know Paul Philly Flipper did it. I don't know if he still does it. And then I tried it. After a couple days I get sidetracked and then I don't do it. I'm like
the Ben over at Locker Room. It's part of his daily thing. He does it every day.
So what's the ending items that are listed or that are ending that day?
Today?
No, what I recommend doing
is
sorting your listings to the items, because you can sort by views. And this is where I'm like, it's been so long since I've done it that I have items that have 0 views in the last 30 days.
Yeah.
So that's where I recommend starting there. And when you do that, change something. You probably first thing you need to do is change the price on that item. It might be worth your while.
Change the size too.
Yeah. Just make a change. But when you're doing the 0 view items, it's probably worth your while to reprice it. Like look up what it's going for now, because the fact that it has 0 views means that there's other ones out there with way less of a price. If you're picking stuff that people actually want to buy. So I highly recommend do that first. Get all those changed and sold similar first, because they're not getting any views. Like it's stale as all heck. That's where I would start. Don't just like mess with stuff. Oh, just because it's about to end. Well, some of your stuff is a very desirable item and it's got watchers, and you don't want to just erase all those watchers. So that's where I would start. And that's where I start every time I do it.
Sort by views. Okay.
Yeah,
because I wasn't doing it that way. So
if you do by views, it'll take it to the top and it'll show the one with the most. And if you click it again, it'll show the one with the least. This is stuff I do on my Seller Hub. So like it's easier. All of this is easier on the Seller Hub. And I recommend, if you're not using your Seller Hub, viewers and listeners, Seller Hub is important because that's where I find out my analytics. If you go to the Seller Hub and you go to marketing and advertising dashboard, that's where you can look at a lot of your promoted and sales stuff. But start there. I never even thought
of that. Anytime I did do it was the items that were listing or were ending like that day, you know, because it comes up and you can filter on your phone, because I do everything on my phone, you know, ending soonest or whatever, and then I would do it that way.
One reason I didn't want to do it is because when I do that, it will still be listed on Mercari and Poshmark.
Oh, yeah.
And then with my Vendu, it would still show me that I should import that item. So then that's where it was like these extra steps. It was like, oh my gosh.
So it would come up as a new item that you should import.
That I should import. And then it's like kind of having to cross-reference, because it was like this thing when I started on Vendu was I used to pick and choose what I've different times when I first started listing on Poshmark, I would only list shoes and jeans because they were over 2 pounds, and I knew I could ship it for 7 something. And then because I was doing everything by hand, and then I was only putting toys on Mercari. So then when I actually was just going to cross list everything, and I switched to mainly shoes and clothing, like I had to, do I have this price? Do I have this listed on Mercari? Oh, okay, I need to put it on Poshmark and import it. And it was this big mess. It was a mess and took me took me a while to get it.
Yeah,
under
that's
control.
something I didn't. Yeah, so for
And
those
that's
of
why
you,
I've been mad about. That's why I've been mad about Vendu.
that's a great question for a Vendu rep is to ask them like, this is what I plan on doing. Can you show me how I can do this without having to do all this extra steps? Yeah.
Right, there might be. I don't ever spend enough time on there other than to look to see if I can list on Macari. But I was just kind of ending and redoing it over, redoing it. But I only did it for a few days. Then I was like, oh, I got to worry about this whatnot show. Then I'm not going to sell anything. I got to get cross. Like it's like there's so much time in a day to do. I don't know everything you got to do.
I'm here, matter of fact.
What'd you say?
Still got to go to the post office after we're done here.
Oh yeah.
Good old post office run, gentlemen.
You don't do pickups?
I told you I tried it. That was a disaster. The guy threw everything in the back of his truck, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry. The next guy down the road will scan it, or down the chain will scan it." I was like, "Well, that doesn't work for me." He's like, and he basically told me, "Now we have a new. He retired. And we have a new lady. I guess I could try, but I don't mind. I made friends with my, Greg and Brady. They're my buddies down there, so I'll go say hi to Greg Brady."
Do you think they listen this far in to hear their shout out?
Greg listens to the podcast. Brady, I don't know if he listens that much, but Greg definitely listens. He said we are not a professional podcast. Remember I told you that? Or his wife.
Yeah, that was like 20 episodes ago, I think.
Yeah, we've been far past professional. We're not even close to professional anymore.
I figured Greg would have smartened up and found a better podcast.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's listening to the full-time Reseller. My new podcast. I didn't tell you guys that I'm actually going over to.
I'll have to check that out.
Wait, I still don't. Are you going over there or not?
No, not at all.
No.
No, I told you he messaged me, asked me some questions. I kind of got him pointed in the right direction with the podcast, and they started one. So.
Good luck to him.
He's up in Pennsylvania, right?
He's by you. Yeah, he's somewhere near there.
I think he's closer to Mike.
Oh, is he okay?
No, you should do a live podcast with Mike. If Mike showed up on that podcast, I would fight that podcast.
I'm still waiting for Mike to come in and take my spot, so I can.
I tried today. I tried today with the emoji. Don't worry.
Oh, you did, huh?
He was too busy.
He's too busy. Dang it.
He was too busy.
He was going to take my spot?
He was
just going to straight up
I have a spot available on my side of the... No, I'm just joking.
Oh, yeah.
The leftover side?
Leftovers.
There's only one leftover right now for me.
Now we got to start a whole recruiting campaign.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
No, we're not doing that. No. No.
Dan's like, we recruited Jimmy, and that was a
because it started off. Joe and I started a podcast to get Mike on the podcast, and somehow you ended up here with us.
You talk about regrets and big mistakes. I get it. It's up there with one of your worst.
No, I told you when. Was it during the episode that you didn't do with us, or the one that when you came back? Like it was hard to do. It was. I'm happy to have you here.
All right. Well, I'm glad I can contribute.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first on the Pocket Change podcast with our leftover host, Dan in Demand.